arrived at my uncle's house, they enrolled me in school immediately because I was in senior class and preparing for my senior WAEC examination. I had my own room in my uncle's house, but my uncle's wife didn't like me staying in there alone. She would linger at the entrance of my door like a ghost, making me feel as though she suspected me of doing something wrong. And that her behavior would always scare me. Every time she comes into my room, she would ask me to open my mouth, and when she didn't find anything in my mouth, she would then search the whole room to see if she can find something. If she wasn't successful, she would tell me to move to the living room and sit in the dining chair where she could see me. I realized that she was naturally wicked when her behavior began to show after only 2 weeks of being with her. I know that couples do quarrel, but whenever she quarrels with my uncle, she would frequently remind my uncle that if she had married when she originally planned, that she would have gotten married to a wealthy man and not a wretched man like him. One day, I was in the living room with her baby while she was in the kitchen cooking. So her baby started crying. So I tried to sort the baby from crying by walking around the living room, singing for the baby and making a shushi sound. This woman came behind me and hit me so hard on the back of my neck. I was like, why? What did I do? She said, why would I be shushing her baby while her baby was not a cat? I said to her that I didn't know. She took her baby from me and went back to the kitchen. But when she realized it was difficult to cook while holding the baby, she returned to the living room and placed the baby on a couch and asked me not to touch him, then went back to the kitchen again. I was standing there looking at the baby crying so loud, but then I was asked not to touch him. So she came out of the kitchen with a wooden stick and she started hitting me with the stick, demanding that I pick up her baby. She insisted that as long as I was in that house, that I would fulfill my duties as a child. And I was like, weren't you the one that asked me not to touch the baby? I used to wake up around 5 a.m., highest 4:30 a.m. when I was working as a housemaid. But when I was in my uncle's house, I woke up around 2 a.m. every day in order to please my uncle's wife. But you can never please her because her wickedness was inborn, that if she doesn't showcase them in a day, her routine will not be complete. This minute she's laughing and discussing with you, the other minute she's hitting you. She would always call me agent of darkness, agent of evil. You are possessed. You have been sent from your kingdom to destroy my family. Sometimes she will ask me to stop looking at her children so that I don't initiate them. She teaches at the same school where her 3 years old daughter was schooling. So one day, they were supposed to take beans to school for lunch. I woke up around 2 a.m. to cook the beans halfway and prepare other things she would use in making the beans. Because she doesn't like anyone cooking for her, she makes her food by herself. After cooking the beans, I pounded some pepper. I was supposed to add crayfish to the pepper, but because I didn't know the quantity to add, I decided to wait for her to wake up. She woke up around 5. I was still awake because I was studying my book. So she went straight to the kitchen. I stopped what I was doing and went to the kitchen to assist her. I asked her how much crayfish I would add to the pepper so that I can pound them together. She looked at me and did not respond. So I decided to add the crayfish by myself. But when I brought her the quantity I wanted to add to the pepper, she looked at me and said, if you don't know what you're supposed to do, just leave that crayfish there and get out of this kitchen. I asked her what I should do. She said I was supposed to know what to do. What if I don't know that I should get out of the kitchen and go to the living room so that I don't provoke her? At that point, I knew she was looking for a reason to hit me. So I decided to go to the living room. I was sitting on a sofa when I noticed a vibration at the back of my neck. I turned, it was her. She hit me again. I stood up from the sofa and I told her she was wicked, that the woman I worked for as a housemaid was kind. She immediately began fake crying and woke up her husband to tell him what I had said. She also told my uncle that she treats me like her own child, and this is the pattern she uses whenever she hits someone without reason. Whenever she leaves the house, I would be relieved as if someone added 20 more years to my life. But when she comes back, my heart will start beating very fast. My uncle's house became so scary and very unlively and uncomfortable for me, but I had nowhere else to go. There was a time I told her that I wouldn't be eating for 1 week. She started hiding food in their room. After cooking, she would carry the food and put inside the cupboard in their room and lock it with key, so that I don't go and steal the food when everybody had gone out and still pretend that I didn't eat. During that time, I was looking for a way to get cotton bud from their room. When she went to the bathroom to shower, as soon as she started showering, I hurried to their room and grabbed the cotton bud. I was about moving the curtain when I saw her already standing behind the curtain. My heart raced. She questioned my intention, so I showed her the cotton bud I had retrieved from their room. She then asked me to open my mouth, which I did. She didn't smell anything suspicious. After that, she returned to the bathroom and continued bathing. My uncle noticed I was laying down. He called me and asked me why. I told him that I was fasting. He became angry with me and asked me to go and eat. That very day, I started eating. There was a day my uncle returned from the market with garden eggs he had bought along the road. So the wife asked me to wash them. When I finished washing them, I brought them back to her. She said one of them was missing. I was in shock at the accusation because I didn't eat any while I was washing them. She searched me but didn't find anything. She threatened that if I did not admit the truth, I would not be allowed to have any of the garden egg. I responded okay that I was not interested. My response got her angry, that she. Stay tuned. I will continue next time.